This story isn't about a fight. It isn't about someone getting caught in the act. It's about what happens when you believe you're building a life together, while they're building something else behind your back. My wife and I had been married 3 years when we started trying for a baby. We talked about it for a while. It wasn't a surprise. We were in our early 30s, both with stable jobs, living in a house we'd saved hard for. Every sign said, now's the time, and I wanted it. I really did. Not just the idea of a child, but the life around it. Saturday morning cartoons, messy breakfasts, a car seat in the back of our SUV. I pictured it all, and I thought she did too. She even picked out a name. The first couple of months were filled with excitement, ovulation apps, calendars on the fridge, late-night talks about strollers and daycare. She bought prenatal vitamins in advance. She even started following a bunch of parenting pages online. It felt real, intentional, like we were stepping into something together. And honestly, the physical part of our relationship during that time, never better. We were close, intimate, reconnecting even. It felt like we were in sync. But slowly something changed. She became distant, not in a dramatic way, just quieter, less affectionate. Sometimes she'd pull away after intimacy, like she suddenly remembered something she didn't want to feel. I asked if she was okay. She said, "I'm just tired." Tired turned into "I've had a headache all day." Then work's been exhausting. Then I just need some space. The gap between us grew so slowly that I didn't even notice it at first. I remember one night, she was sitting on the couch scrolling through her phone. I walked over behind her, leaned down to kiss her on the head like I always did. But as I kissed her, she tilted the screen slightly away. It was quick, barely a movement. But it stuck with me. She never used to do that. The next few weeks were filled with almost intimacy, almost connection, almost honesty. We still ate dinner together, still talked about the future. But there was a layer between us that hadn't been there before. Something I couldn't name but could feel every time she looked away a second too long. Then one afternoon I came home early from work. She wasn't expecting me. I walked in and found her on a video call in the kitchen. I couldn't see the screen, but her voice dropped in pitch when she saw me. She ended the call quickly, said it was just a friend, claimed they were talking about something from college. And again, I didn't push, because I trusted her, because I wanted to believe there was nothing wrong, because I thought, we're trying for a child. Why would she lie now? It wasn't until a few weeks later that the name came up. We were cleaning out a drawer in the guest room, making space, she said, for future nursery stuff. She handed me an envelope to throw out. As I glanced at it, I saw a name scribbled on the back. Chris. I paused. Is this someone I know? She looked up quickly. Oh no, just someone from school, not important. She took it from me a little too fast, tossed it into the trash herself. I didn't say anything, but the name stuck in my head. Later that night, I remembered that name from somewhere else. Not from her stories, not from a wedding list, but from an old photo I'd once seen on her Facebook, years ago, before we even got married. Her ex, the guy she dated before me, the one she once described as immature, not serious, and said she had completely moved on from. I remember brushing it off then. Everyone has a past. But now, I wasn't sure. I didn't confront her, not right away. Instead, I did something I've never done before. While she was in the shower the next day, I checked her iPad. It was synced to her messages. I opened them with shaking hands, part of me hoping I'd find nothing, that I was being paranoid, that I was the one messing this up with my own insecurities. But I wasn't. There it was, a full thread, active, ongoing, Chris, dozens of messages. Most weren't explicit. They weren't flirting in the way that would get screen-tapped or shown around in a gotcha moment. But it was emotional. They talked late at night. He asked how she was really doing. She told him she felt disconnected lately. He told her he missed her energy. She told him she missed talking to someone who actually gets her. There were no I love yous, no plans to meet up. But they were speaking like two people slowly sliding into something they wouldn't admit out loud. And the worst part, these conversations were happening while we were trying for a baby. And that night I didn't say anything. I lay in bed next to her, heart pounding, staring at the ceiling. She turned over and curled into me. Said, "I'm so lucky to have you." And I didn't respond. because I wasn't sure who she was talking to in her head. I don't think people understand how deep betrayal can go when you're trying to build something sacred with someone. It's not just about lying. It's about how they still kiss you goodnight with the same mouth they use to text someone else after you fall asleep. It's about how they sit beside you, shopping for baby clothes, while privately telling someone else they feel disconnected. The morning after I read the messages, I didn't confront her. Not out of fear, not out of indecision. I just didn't know what kind of conversation it would even be. What do you say when the betrayal wasn't physical, but it was real? Do you accuse her? Do you ask if she still loves him? Do you ask how long she's been emotionally split? I made us both coffee. She smiled and asked what I had planned for the day. I said, just work. You? She shrugged. Might clean the spare room, still thinking about the wallpaper we saw. I nodded, and in that moment, it hit me how surreal life can be. You could be talking about nursery wallpaper with someone who's quietly unmaking your future behind your back. Over the next few days, I started watching. Not in a suspicious, stalking way, just observing. She was still texting him. I checked the iPad once more, then never again. I didn't need to keep reading. Once you know what you're looking for, even silence becomes confirmation. I noticed how her mood would shift after certain notifications, how she'd smile at her phone in the middle of a conversation with me, how she'd step out to take a work call and come back with that distant energy. It was all small, explainable, subtle, but it built a case in my mind I couldn't ignore anymore. A week later, I finally brought it up. We were driving back from the grocery store. Nothing special. I didn't plan it. It just came out. Are you still talking to Chris? She was mid-sentence about something else and went silent. I didn't look at her, just kept my eyes on the road. After a pause, she said quietly, "Why are you asking that?" I shrugged. Just wondering. He messaged me a while back, she said. Just catching up. I nodded. Still. She didn't answer. You don't have to lie. I saw the messages. That's when she exhaled, like someone who'd been waiting to be caught just to stop holding it in. She didn't yell, didn't defend. She just said, okay. That was it. Not, I'm sorry, not it's not what you think. Just, okay. We pulled into the driveway and sat there for a second. Neither of us moved. So what do you want to know? She asked. I turned off the engine. Everything. We went inside. She sat on the edge of the couch like a student about to fail a test. I didn't press. I just waited. And slowly, the truth came out. She said she reconnected with him months ago, that it started harmless, that it made her feel seen, that she never planned for it to become anything, that she never physically cheated. But then she said something that cut deeper than I expected. Sometimes I feel like I never had closure with him, and when we started trying for a baby, it scared me. It made everything feel permanent. And he showed up right at that time. I nodded. Not because I agreed, but because I understood the honesty. Did you think about stopping? I asked. Yes, she said, many times. And? I didn't. She said she still loved me, that she never stopped, that she wants to fix things. But here's the thing, people don't talk about when it comes to rebuilding trust. Love isn't enough, because love without truth feels like gaslighting, and trust, once cracked, doesn't glue back the same way. I didn't scream, didn't call her names, didn't pack a bag or storm out. I just sat there listening to the woman I was building a family with explain how she'd spent the last few months confiding in someone else while lying to me by omission. And something shifted inside me. The next day I told her I needed space. She cried, asked me not to make any decisions yet, said she'd cut off contact immediately, showed me her phone, blocked him in front of me. I nodded, but I still packed a bag. Told her I'd stay at a friend's for a few days, not to punish her, but because I needed to figure out who I was outside of this. Those days alone were some of the quietest of my life. No one to talk to at dinner, no soft laughter from the bathroom while she brushed her teeth, no partner beside me at night, but there was also no tension, no second-guessing, no checking her phone from across the room, no waking up wondering if I was enough. She called once, left a message, said she understood if I didn't come back, said she hoped I would. I didn't respond right away. Instead, I sat with the silence, and in it, I heard something I hadn't heard in a long time, my own voice. I did go back eventually, but not to move in, just to talk. Calmly, clearly. I told her I didn't hate her, that I still loved her, but that I didn't know if I could move forward building something permanent with someone who could keep something like that from me while we were trying to create life. She nodded. No fighting, no bargaining, and just two people sitting in the aftermath of something they couldn't fix in a week. We didn't break up that night, but we didn't plan for the baby anymore either. The calendars came down, the apps were deleted, the hope paused. And honestly, that hurt more than anything, because I realized I wasn't grieving the loss of the relationship. I was grieving the version of it I thought we had. It's been a few months now. We're in therapy. Trying, slowly. She's been open. I've been cautious. Some days we feel okay. Other days I look at her and remember the quiet betrayal of it all. But I'm learning something important. Healing doesn't mean pretending it never happened. It means deciding if the truth can live beside your love without suffocating it. And I don't know the answer yet, but I'm willing to sit with the question a little longer. Have you ever tried to rebuild trust after a quiet betrayal? Was it worth it? Or did it break you more? Drop your story. Someone out there needs it.